How are you guys doing? Hmm. So I'm back. Oh. Ikiri Lawrence, my beautiful brother, went to uni with taste buds. Somebody said, Daddy Freeze, Nigeria is hard. That's why it's good to invest right. I've got a special guest with me right now. Van, Dr. Stephen Akitayo.
Am I the prophet with NAFDAC
At
approval?
least you get approval. If you don't get approval, I know carry you come my life.
Um,
Hey, Prophet Stephen. Sorry, I mean Dr. Stephen. How are you this evening?
Hey, Lord have mercy. How you doing? Good to be here.
Good to
Um,
have you.
but
Before we
but
go
I
any
I know
further,
you're always hard on these people, but I think the people also are the ones making it possible for such shenanigans to continue. Because the reality is common sense to know that faith is not equals to transferring your responsibility to God, right? The fact that you're a person, I'm a person of faith, and I've always defended my own faith, but it doesn't mean I shouldn't go and do my job. If I didn't carry myself, come to America, started buying properties, I mean, I wouldn't have what I have today. We just bought a multi-million-dollar property now. That the freeze I've been inviting him to come, he's not coming. But I had to do something for that to happen. Of course, my faith was also part of the components of that. I believed God, but I also took action. But
I want to tell you a story, Dr. Stephen, before you go
yeah,
live. And this might inspire a lot of people who don't understand what is going on. I know an old Igbo man who was a taxi driver in the 90s in the UK. His
okay.
wife was a nurse. He was a taxi driver in the UK. From the proceeds of his taxi business, he built a house in his village and he was able to buy 4 properties in the UK. By the time he turned 70, he came home. Today, in the village, in his house, he's about 80 now. He's earning about £12,000 every month from his real estate. His
In the UK.
wife is collecting £700 every month as her pension.
Wow, that's impressive.
House no get value for Nigeria. House no get value for Nigeria. No be like abroad. The property value abroad doubles every 10 years from my little research that I've done.
Very fact. That's a fact.
But I'm not a miracle worker or a land speculator or a real estate developer. Let me allow the expert to talk to you about what they have to offer abroad. Ladies and gentlemen, he needs no introduction, so let me just do the honor of presenting him to you. A man of intellectual ability and business prowess. A man who became a billionaire before he hit 40. A man who is renowned for his family values as well as his business acumen. Can we gather a round of applause for the one and the only Dr. Stephen Akintayo? Oh yeah, patewo.
Thank
Over to
you,
you, Dr.
Danny.
Stephen. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. I mean, we thank God and thank you for coming for our dinner. I think we still saw 2 weeks ago or so in
Absolutely. And it
Nigeria.
was nice. I came with my daughter.
Yes, yes. It's been like 2 weeks ago before coming here. Thank you for having me. It's good to be here. And now, well done with with your topic. I listened to a few minutes of your earlier conversation. It was quite interesting. But for me, my argument is if you don't invest and you are waiting for miracle to do everything, you're gonna fail.
Mm,
Um, you're gonna fail because my argument is you need you need both parties. You need the place of your faith, and then you
mm,
need the place of science. I,
mm,
I don't think I don't think faith is against science. I don't think science is against faith. Even Apostle Paul says that if you do not work, you do not deserve to eat.
100.
So you do not deserve to eat. So we must create a balance. And I think that is that middle ground that is where we need to emphasize. And I love that we constantly, you and I, talk about the place of investment. It's not just complaining about those who are not doing it right. It's also giving you alternative, the right alternatives as to what are the other alternatives to building wealth.
Mm,
How do you build your wealth? How do you move from zero to hero? What are the step by step? But at the first, I can tell you that the reason why most Africans are looking for magic is because the right process is hard. Let's be honest. Not everybody could have endured the last 16 years like I
mm,
have endured in building my business. Not everybody could do that, right? So the days of sleeping in my office because I didn't have 200 naira to enter mall were back to Songwater. The day my rent was due, my luggage was kicked out, just
mm,
believing that a business model will work. To now the days of we owning assets in Dubai, in Africa, in US. So it's a journey and it's not an easy one. But for everybody watching me, if you are willing to pay the price, you can build legitimate wealth without
mm,
having even some of these so-called prophets scamming people, they need to come and hear this as well, because many of them as well is the hustle of trying to build wealth that led them into, having to lie to people, and I get it that if it's building wealth legitimately, it's not an easy one. You will lose money. If you are trying to build
mm.
if you are trying to build business in Nigeria, you have police case.
Hey,
Somebody can come and
hey.
do business with you today now and go and use police to arrest you tomorrow and say you're a scammer. So running business is quite challenging. And that's why some people, even though God didn't call them, they call themselves.
Mm,
Right? And they've created a lot of nuisance in town.
mm,
But I must emphasize, if you find a fake prophet, there's also a legitimate prophet, right?
mm,
There can't be a fake without there being original. It's when there's an original, then you will now see somebody trying to create a fake version. So for me, that would be my intro on this topic, because I know a lot of your people were already wrapped up into the prophet conversation before we get into today's talk.
they better leave the prophet conversation and let's see how we are going to make money in this lifetime. Oh. Prophet Kusheni. No. Prophet will always be there.
Yeah,
How do we as a people
yeah.
deliver our minds from the struggles our parents went through,
Mm,
still
mm,
ended up in the same
yeah,
place? If
yeah,
an Oyinbo man in America puts in 30 years of work,
yeah.
he can retire and relax.
True.
Our parents are not retiring and relaxing. They
Very
are
true.
retiring to the village, sending us letter every week for one development or the other that requires finances that they do not have, which indeed is a conversation that needs looking into,
Yeah.
Dr. Stephen. I want to ask you, Dr. Stephen, the Nigerian economy today,
Yeah.
how do you see it? What do you believe is the way forward? How is it affecting you and your business? What do you advise people right now? This present Nigerian economy, what do you think is going on at the moment right now?
Very good question. Thank you for that question. Very spot on question. I say, first of all, I empathize with Nigerians. It's been a difficult, tough season for all of us. I'll give an example. Our Nigerian business, for example, has had this is the third month of drop in sales. Third month, right? Of sales drop. It's really, really affecting everyone, whether you are, some people never believe in their lifetime they will ever see Dangote do press conference back to back. Dangote turn to literally
Content
skit
creator.
maker or content creator. Never in their lifetime have they
We know the talk.
believed. And Dangote wey nobody you can hardly hear him talk. But this time around, $20 billion. Owó jóná, ẹjọ́, ẹjọ́. So it's a real tough season, and I want to start by empathizing with everyone. However, that the freeze, I saw something in 2016. Immediately after Jonathan was out, Buhari came to power. The first sign was that Naira started falling. If you remember, when Jonathan left, I think Naira was maybe 190 something.
Yes.
And then before you know it, started rising. And this similar situation happened. And I was so pained. And I did a quest that how do I prevent this from never happening again? And the only solution I came up with, that the freeze, was start earning in foreign currency, start earning in dollars. That was the year I made up my mind. I wanted to expand aggressively internationally. Even my books, even my coaching, my speaking, everything turned to dollar. I do public speaking. I'm invited in different places. When I said I now charge $20,000, people say insulting me, but I didn't care. But today, that is what is saving me now, and even our company. The fact that we had expanded into Dubai, was expanded into the UK, into the US, before things became extremely tough. And that's why my argument is you must diversify. Again, there's nothing wrong with doing business in Nigeria. In fact, this year, we've launched more estate. We have more estate to launch. I think by the end of this year, we'll have launched more than 10 new estates. The list of them is 50 acres. So we're constantly still expanding in Nigeria. And for me, Nigeria is home. But the wisdom to diversify, have some of your investment in Naira, have some in dollars, have some in real estate, have some in other sectors, is the way forward. Globally, that the freeze, globally, there is calamity globally. Here in the US, for example, if you are buying property, interest rates used to be 4%. There are people just 7 years ago, they bought their property and their interest rate was just 2.9%. As I speak to you, interest rate in America is between 8% and 11% in some cases. I'm telling you. So globally, we are in a place where there is challenge all over the world. Of course, some are worse than some. Some places are easier than some. But ultimately, the argument is you must diversify your income. You must have multiple streams of income. You must have money coming to you in different currencies. You must be able to make money in different ways. While, of course, we continue to hold government accountable, I'm not in any way against we holding government accountable. You should do that, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm hoping that the people in government will also begin to live by example. It does not make sense to ask Nigerians to endure while we do not see it in the lifestyle of the politicians. If you're asking Nigerians to endure,
Mm.
you as a politician, if you used to have 10 convoy, reduce it to 3. You used to have 7 jets, reduce it to 2.
Mm.
Let people see that you're also committed, because to be honest with you,
Mm.
it's neither here nor there. Nigeria needed surgery, and Buhari was one of those who got us to where we are.
100%.
100%, right? And there was no quick way out. Some of us who voted Peter Obi, for example, I knew if Peter Obi is the president of Nigeria today, he will be forced to make a tough decision. Tough
Mm.
decision. We will be forced to still do some of these things. The only difference, and I've argued with those, in the other party, is that you will have seen Peter Obi show by example. He won't go and be buying a new presidential jet when everybody is struggling. That's just the difference. But we will still have gone through this process. Another thing I think we needed
Exactly.
to have, yes, we will still have gone through it. Another thing I wish the current government will have done as well, is whenever you do surgery that they freeze, let's assume, they had to open somebody up and conduct a surgery. Let's say it was fibroid. You and I agreed that after you touch the person wake up, you must give them pain reliever, right? If
Mm.
you don't give an effective pain reliever, it may now not be the fibroid that will kill them. It will be headache.
Hey, to be the pain,
It will be
no.
the pain, right? So I
Mm.
feel the government needs to understand that there are serious pain that Nigerians are
Mm.
going through, and a lot needs to come in to alleviate that pain and help people. For me, those are the things that we need to begin to look out for. But you and I need to take personal responsibility for our finances. Buhari,
Mm.
Tinubu did not remember you when he woke up this morning. I can tell you now for a fact.
For free. For
So,
free, Dr. Stephen.
to your tent, O Israel, begin to look for how do you come out of your own personal financial predicament. Because let's be honest with you, even in this bad economy, some are still making money, and I'm one of them,
A
right?
lot of people are.
And a lot of people are still making money. You just have to look at things and say, what are the other pathways? What are the other options? What are the
Mm.
other opportunities? Because every problem creates an opportunity. Even the refinery, was Dangote not trying to take advantage of an opportunity of a Nigeria that produce oil, but his refinery is never working, and decided to say, okay, let me solve that problem so that everybody can start
Mm.
buying oil from me. Only for him to do it.
Mm.
There are some people are now saying he's a monopolist. What nonsense are you talking about? You too. Did anybody stop you from building
Did
your own
anybody stop
refinery?
your father from buying land and opening a refinery?
And you,
Àwọn èèyàn dẹ̀ máa sọ
so
ohun tó wù wọ́n.
yeah, you. So
Ah.
we all need to rise up and look for opportunities, and one of them is real estate, which is my world. So I'll stop there. Your
Mm.
next question.
Dr. Stephen, talking about the Dangote refinery, I
Yeah.
remember my time in Cool FM, and there used to be people that used to mumble a lot. Me, I was grateful to God and to my employers that I had a platform
Yeah.
to use to showcase my talent.
Yeah.
I started work in BCOS Ibadan, and I worked there for 5 years before I went to Cool FM. And I knew
Wow.
how I struggled
Wow.
to gain visibility. So when I came to Cool FM, it was more like relaxing. It was a relaxed ride
Yeah.
compared to BCOS, where they did not really need English presenters. They were more focused on their
Yeah.
Yoruba,
Yeah.
Akedeku Yawa, presenters. So I was glad that somebody gave me a platform.
Yeah.
It's like going to the bathroom and somebody paying you to go to the bathroom. I know, so we're not going to go to the bathroom.
Very
So for
good.
me, if they had told me to pay money to work in Cool FM to gain the experience, I would have paid.
Yeah.
Now, not only am I not paying,
Yeah.
I'm also still getting some sort of a salary, no matter how small it was.
Very true.
But I had a lot of people surrounding me then who used to moan and groan. And I remember my MD's children arriving one day from one of their trips to Switzerland where they went to ski. And one guy made a comment, says, only this man and his children are enjoying the money. And everybody was agreeing with him. And I looked at them, I'm like, this building that we are using for this radio station cost about $10 million. A high rise in Victoria Island. Is it the land your father contributed? Or is it the design of the building that your father brought that you want to be going to Switzerland with the children of somebody that put down $10 million? So what am I drawing out of this? It's the same thing with Dangote. Nigerians are expecting that Dangote will come and sell fuel for them at 80 naira. Your tears will be long. As in, you know, normal people cry like this. You will cry like this. You know what $20 billion is? Do you know every day that they are not producing how many billions of naira is going in salaries, in power, and then you want him to come and give you electricity. Sorry, you want him to come and give you petrol for free?
New York.
Where was
Afrexim
your
Bank.
father
Africa
when Dangote was buying the
Development
land?
Bank.
I'm not, of course, I agree that many of these billionaires do all sorts of funny things, lobby off governments and create all sorts of. And yes, I know monopoly is real, but let us also learn to manage our expectations, Nigerians.
Very true.
Where was your father when Dangote was buying the land? Let's say your father gave him the land. He can now say, sell petrol to my son at 80 naira. What was your father's contribution that you want to collect? And so that your son will not say the same thing about you, start thinking about the steps you will need to take so you can be like my MD. Is either you vision the project or you fund the project. My MD had a $10 million property in Victoria Island. Somebody sold him the land. Somebody drew the plan for him. Somebody got him waivers. Somebody invested in him. If you don't know how to do all of the things, have you thought of investing? You see, when you invest, you have genuine expectations. I give Dr. Stephen my money. Dr. Stephen, where is my money? And if Dr. Stephen does not answer, you can take him to court, take him to the police. But if you have not given Dr. Stephen your money, you cannot take him to police. You have imaginary expectations as compared to people who have real expectations. When you expect Dangote to sell you fuel for 400 naira, and you have not given Dangote anything.
I think that the problem is we have not taught entrepreneurship enough.
God, we bless you.
We've not taught entrepreneurship enough. Not everybody is thinking the way you're thinking. If an average person just say, oh, now government money, now Kinikon. People didn't know how that money came about. They did not know Afrexim Bank money is in that refinery. They did not know that African Development Bank money is in that refinery. In fact, when that issue happened, if you notice, all of them started writing. Afrexim Bank wrote, African Development Bank wrote, all your Nigerian banks, they borrowed money to Dangote for that refinery. There's a lot of, that's why I say, oh, New York. You know, I have had somebody come and abuse me on this your show before that. Oh, if the guy is big, why is he coming on that the freeze platform to market his property? until when people saw Dangote on live television carry white petrol. You see, the original petrol
Even
is white.
even Bill Gates money they inside. I see Bill Gates come see Tinubu.
Exactly.
Bill
The,
Gates leave
petrol
America,
is
come see
white,
Tinubu.
diesel is yellow. And it's because they don't understand. Most Nigerians, if you say rich man, the only person they know is politicians who are arrogant, who move around like they own the whole world. They've never seen a legitimate entrepreneur before. So the typical mindset is that if you are big, you just be arrogant about, just be flexing muscle, just be. I don't know that an average entrepreneur is different. It's,
Hmm.
it's all about his hustle. It's
Mm-hmm.
all about trying to push his business. And he will do whatever legitimately he has to do to grow his business. So when people start saying that go thing with, and I say, shame I don't see. Because somebody even accused me, say, when last did you see Dangote on IG Live, trying to talk about.
Dangote don't join us now. The next thing where they expect now to see Dangote and Emanuela do skit for Archangel.
but but obviously people are so ignorant, and it's because they don't even, if Dangote was born in this era, he would have been using social media. It wasn't just his era. So and that's why we are failing to have enough young people build great businesses, because in their mind, for me to build a great business, I just have to be flexing muscle. An entrepreneur is very shrewd. That's why you hear people say Dangote is stingy. Because he knows that it's not his money, it's people's investment. And he must manage it well. Because he has to give account of it. Right? They say he
Mm.
doesn't wear designers. I mean, he won't wear designer because he's building an empire. There's nothing wrong with designers, but the man has to focus on building his
Empire.
business. So I'm happy we're having this conversation, because we need to
Dr.
reorientate,
Steven. Dr.
people.
Steven. I sat down with my wife today. She showed me her 6 months bank statement for her company.
Yes.
I was seeing some hundreds of meals. I said, oh, baby, I'm proud of you. You've done this way. She said, check the account balance. 500,000 naira. I said, how can you be turning over this much and your balance is 500,000? She said, by the time I purchase at a lower price,
Yeah.
sell at what I think is a higher price. Then when I want to go back to purchase, it's now an even higher price. My
You
staff
know,
want salary increase.
somebody said that
Logistics
the
have
freeze.
increased.
Somebody said
You
that
will
the
see
freeze.
300 million, and then you see account balance of 1.2 million. If
Somebody
you don't
they
understand,
don't understand. Let me break this down. Somebody said that the freeze wear designers. Yes, because that the freeze is in a show business, and this is where people miss it. That the freeze is in a show business. It's a business you have to show. Dangote is not in a show business.
thank
Stephen
you.
Akintayo is not yet in a show business. Though I'm trying to start movie business, but I'm not in a show business. Okay? So I don't need to show. And that's, you must balance it. So a Davido can tell you he's wearing a chain of $2 million. He is in a show business. For Dangote to now come and wear a $2 million, in fact, even his partners will have to call him and say, are you sure you don't have psychiatric problem? Because it's a two different world. Different world. Mommy Freeze, on the other hand, I can assure you, will not be bragging about designers. She's bragging about the latest cooking pots, the latest, kitchen, that can cook the best meal. That is our own designer. You see the difference? You know?
So, I looked at it and I was like, wow, oh my goodness, you make this much and you spend this much running it. Dr. Stephen will understand this thing. You will see 3 billion in his account. Give him 3 days.
You
He will
don't
be
go.
struggling to find 2 million naira. You
You
have to
don't
pay
go.
this investor, lawyer, this person, that person. Ooh. Somebody now asked a question.
Yeah.
He said, you have a G-Wagon, the limited edition G-Wagon, and you have a retail store. Somebody sold a G-Wagon to buy a retail store. Is it a good idea? My response is, it seems like a good idea, but if you don't know how to run a retail store, just drive your G-Wagon, JJ. Because the easiest way to lose money is to go into business. I was sitting down eating rice
Business
with
that you
Dr.
don't
Stephen.
know how to run.
This same Dr. Stephen, I was eating rice, was telling me the story of how he lost money the first 2 times he did business.
Very true.
So, Dr. Stephen, I want to ask you the next question. But before I ask you the next question, I want to praise you for something. You are the only person that I bring to my life when it comes to real estate. I don't have any other person. I turn them down. And why do I bring Dr. Stephen regularly? Because Dr. Stephen says one thing. He says, if you have any doubt about doing business with me, don't do it.
True.
That
True.
gives me assurance. Because some people will tell you, don't worry, we'll multiply that money for you. Not just rest. Just once you give us the money, just go home and rest. Then they'll now start calling me. I've had those kind of people before. They will call me, and they will call me, and they will call me. So, Dr. Stephen, my next question is, how do you respond to those who raise allegations of scams in the real estate sector, especially when it comes to dealing with Nigerian clients in the diaspora? How?
Very good question. In fact, we have a story I was told in Maryland. This guy was running an investment program and was giving people 50% return on investment. And so the guy who raised it in dollars, oh, can you imagine? So the guys who raised the story, they went on ranting and ranting. When they were done, I asked them a simple question. What was wrong with you to believe that in this US, somebody can give you a 50% return on investment? Like, are you okay? Even consumer protection in US benchmark your ideal profit to 25% per annum. Like, if I want to sell, let's say, I'm just giving an example, this phone. Let's say this phone is $1,000. The US consumer protection expects you that the markup should be 25% profit. So if somebody now tells you he's going to give you, right, a 50% return, it probably means he's getting more than 100% for him to be able to give you 50%. So at the end of the day, you lost your money. You are now shouting foul. No, I'm not going to pity you. The last time I was on your show, do you know how many people was calling my staff to say, yes, we get what the guy is saying, but the return is too small, right? We need him to give us more if we are going to invest. So some of I think go back to me and say, sir, some of them said, they even said there was one guy in US, he gives them 40% return that you too. I said, you see, I built my business to a point where I reject money, right? We still had somebody some months ago, over $1 million he wanted to invest. And he said we must give him 35%. I said, I'm not interested. We cannot legitimately, in our good conscience, promise you that we can assure you that kind of return. Right? To collect such a money, right? Hoping, because that's the, and I'm explaining why these things happen. Because it's the people themselves who pressurize returns that are not realistic, expectations that are not realistic, Okay, that is just won't happen. The same thing happened with real estate even in Nigeria. You see people, genuinely, we all know, we in the industry, that this location, oh, you can't buy land less than 10 million. You will see somebody say, now I can sell for 4 million, and people will still go and be buying. And you will still see people come and tell you that you are saying, my own at 10 million. Say, you see, you are a scammer. You are a scammer. Land
Hey.
where they go for 4 million, you are selling for 10 million. Later, the same people will now come back
Come
and
and
claim
cry.
I have been scammed. So, at the freeze, what we go do now? Because if Yoruba will say, to baro to wararo, you have to buy one.
Yes,
If you
now.
don't buy truth,
You
you
will
will
buy
buy lie. You must
lie.
buy one. you have to buy one. You have to buy one. So for me, the reason for a lot of this, scam international, and it's big here. If people think there's scam in Nigeria, well, there are bigger scams amongst Nigerians in diaspora. And you know that if freeze in Nigeria, if you carry police, go arrest the person. In America, if you do that, now only court if you go. And until, and you will still need to spend money on a good lawyer, to take the person to court. So you can't just harass anybody you did business with in the UK or in Canada or in US because it's considered a civil transaction, or in Dubai itself, a civil transaction. But in Nigeria, you can still turn it to criminal by, working with the police and harassing them. So these are the issue. My argument would be to avoid things like that. We need to reduce our greed level. Generally, as a people, we will continue to find our people go be a victim of Ponzi scheme as long as we are looking for returns that are not realistic.
Realistic.
Many
Absolutely.
many of these people did not intentionally start the business to dupe people. But you see, over time, as people put undue expectation, I said the last time we were still on this show, the last time we still talk about this, realistic expectation. I said people were still calling my office to say we will only invest if you will promise us this kind of return. People were still calling. Then if it's this one, no, we will not. And I'm like, well, you're your own. And I told my team, I said, it's okay. A good name is better than
Gold and
silver
silver.
and gold. There's a reason we are still in business 16 years after. Then, of course, we've had people try to drag us here and there. But because we've done things by the books, we can defend every single thing we've done over the years. There's a reason why people of repute identify with us at the highest level. When I say highest level, right? Whether home or
Or
abroad. The
abroad.
first award I got here in America, unfortunately, she just passed on, was Congresswoman giving me a congressional award of recognition. I've just been told now, being recommended for presidential award in America because we are doing things right, and we are doing it by the books, right? So whoever wants, we're open to doing business with them. We're open to working with you and showing the investment opportunities we have. But if you still want all this Ponzi scheme, make money where you did not sow, full of Bethesda kind of miracle investment, I
Buy
wish you all
soap
the
where you go use
best.
take bath.
I wish you all the I wish you all the best
You see,
in those kind of investment.
you see, you see, if you don't understand business, you will think business is easy. Business is like singing.
Yeah.
I said something. I said it takes talent to recognize genius.
Mm, mm,
A mediocre will tell you can do anything.
mm,
Anybody that tells there's nothing I cannot do if I put my mind to it is a mediocre.
mm,
Because when Michael Jackson hears Freddie Mercury hit that octave, he will know, because he can sing. He will know that this thing that this guy did is not
Yeah,
normal.
this is good.
Stephen
This thing
Akintayo
is-
is a business genius, or is a business talent. That is why when he sees Dangote, he knows
yeah,
that this
yeah,
one is not normal.
yes, true, very true,
He will
very
know that
true.
there's something. Just the way I was watching Jeff Bezos in an interview the other day, they were making fun of him. They said, "You want to sell the way nobody has sold before?" And he kept telling them that, yes, that I have the formula and I know how I'm going to do it. And they were laughing at him. Today, he's either the first or the second richest person in the world. He understood it.
Yeah, very true.
The first thing to understand about business is risk and
True.
risk management.
Very true.
Never go into a business believing that it is not risky. Just being my wife's husband, I know if you do business. My wife wakes up in the morning and starts to shout on the phone. And she continues shouting the whole day till 12 o'clock at night when I seize her phone. Is either shouting at somebody who was supposed to deliver to a customer, shouting to a supplier who promised that they will deliver. No problem, we'll bring it tomorrow, a month ago.
It's
To
crazy.
somebody that was supposed to make a delivery,
Yeah.
but was stupid enough to deliver the jollof rice that does not go bad before the seafood okra that has shelf life. She is shouting at plumber, shouting at this. I look at her and I say, I can't do this. Then when she's not shouting, she gets on the phone with her advert people. She gets on the phone with her digital people. She gets on the phone with her media team. Then she gets on the phone with her legal team, her tax team, her this team. And this continues. And as she's doing this, she's sending money, paying this person, giving instruction. You do this, you do that. Let's do this. And she does this till she wakes up. When she wakes up like this, it is shout till midnight. I say, it cannot be me. So Dr. Stephen Akintayo, you are a bigger businessman than my wife. This is what I have to do to you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank
So
you.
guys, never expect to go into business without risk.
Yeah.
But when you go into business with someone who is reliable, the tendency to help you manage risk is higher.
Absolutely. I mean, and I want to talk more about this, and this is very important. We haven't taught this enough. And that's, I mean, Daddy Freeze, I think the first day he mentioned, he probably thought I would be angry, you know, maybe because he has dealt with other people who had issues with it. You know, I was like, no, in fact, I teach it on my page that every business is risky, including real estate. It's risky. In the last 9 years, I have invested heavily in Nigeria, buying lands. I have a land where they have killed two people. Two people have been killed on that land.
They don't buy. Dr. Steven say
They
buy.
killed them.
They say buy.
Land grab. Oh, sorry. Land grabber. Don't buy them. I heard that's the word you use now. Literally buy them over the land issue. Right? So I have seen all manner. People have no clue. And a lot of time we've had to all still defend, protect our clients. If you see somebody run business for long, you better respect them. Because there's a lot they've had to shoulder. There's a lot they've had to keep that name. There's a whole lot, that they've had to go through to keep that name. And honestly, there's risk to every business, and always do business with that mentality that, hey, I risk losing my money. However, with the right partners, with the right mentorship, with the right training, the risks are minimized. This September now, 21st and 22nd, and I hope, by the way, how many of you here are in the US, or you're in Canada, or you're in North America? If you're there, just type me. because this information is important. 21st and 22nd, we are hosting the largest event we've ever had, Daddy Freeze. This event is costing us over $250,000 to organize it. We're having the only black guy on Shark Tank, Damien John. Damien John, I mean, the businesses he has done cumulatively are worth over $6 billion. Damien John is going to come live. He's one of the speakers. We're bringing all the way from Nigeria, Cosmos Maduka, right?
Ooh, BMW
Of Koshari.
Paris.
Yes, he's coming live to train the people. I have this couple there from India. Daddy Free, let me tell you this story. You know, rich people are humble, but they also get swag.
Yes.
So
now
I bought this land from this man, $3.3 million. And so the day we both met on the land, very simple looking, just jacket and t-shirt, simple looking. You know, we got to greet each other. When I was about going, say, Dr. Stephen, I heard you're a big man. If you don't mind, my house is not too far. I could just take you to see my house. When people say, come see their house, you better respect them. So I said, why not? Let's go. Daddy Free is 21 acre, one man house.
Wow.
My own house here is 3.3 acres. You know, my house here in Houston. You know, I don't know whether I've sent you the video. I'm currently in it. Maybe later I will move around and show you. It's 3.3 acre. But compared to a man that his own house is 21 acre, there is even water park, like water museum inside the house.
Hey.
There are a couple. I mean, by the way, I'm mentioning them because they will be speaking at the event. Later, the man now said, I have a few properties here and there close to this place. Do you mind I should take you around? I said, why not? We drove around. In 2 hours. I saw property almost the tune of $200 million, 2 hours. And that's less than 20% of the property the man has. He has over 12,000 acres. Indian immigrant. You know, and one of the reasons why I brought him, Daddy Freeze, is because the time for us to start telling our people the truth is now. And Indian comes to America, he's thinking on how to start a business. A Nigerian comes to America, he's thinking of job. It's from $10 an hour, $20 an hour, $30 an hour, $40 an hour. This is why guys are coming in, they are buying, they're investing. Do you know when we started our first project here in the US, do you know your Nigerian people were mocking us? It is in Nigeria. If they buy big acres, it is a US now. The shocker we gave them, while they were still talking about 40 acres, we did 21, we did 99. Right now, we're about acquiring 2,000 acres close to Dallas, Texas. Daddy Freeze. We're not joking. But my argument is we have to push the right mentality into our people.
100.
Entrepreneurship, investment. And that's why for me, my gift to people as we expand to North America is empowerment, training, getting people of color to come and impact our mind. People will resort. This is not audio. Results that you can touch. All my speakers are billionaires in dollars. You don't want to miss it. If you are, and by the way, they can attend virtually. They can attend physically. It's not free because I heard somebody post. He said, why is he paid? Somebody spent $250,000 to do an event and you expect it to be free. Yeah, I don't know. And we are feeding them for the 2 days. We are feeding, we are doing, we have to pay for our speakers, we have to bring them down, flights, all of that. So that would be my first offer today. They can go to steveactel.com/GWF and register. Even if you are not in the US, you can, that if let me pin it. You can always attend virtually, right? You can
Absolutely.
attend virtually. If you are not in the US, you can come. But it's the beginning that the freeze of what we're talking about. Information, knowledge. Meet those who have made money legitimately. The Bible says, buy wisdom and sell it not. That me, I am, if you know something, you will see me, pieces for you. Because when I see people with results, I'm very humble to learn.
To learn.
I'm very humble to say, how did you do it? What were the processes? Because I know that if I can follow the same principle, I'm going to do the same thing, right? I'm going to do the same thing, and I'm going to replicate the same thing. So, guys, I say this all over again. I am not against you japaing. But if you decide to japa and then you are now pushing this, you are now doing $10 an hour, $20 an hour, Abba, you're a disgrace. Because, and I'm not saying you cannot start there. You can start from that point of, but to remain there. There are people in America for 20 years that they freeze. Nothing to show except for bragging, I live in America. Living in America is not an achievement, my friend. Living in UK is not an achievement. Living in Canada is not an achievement. It is what you can build. Because you and I shouted all through, Nigeria is bad, Nigeria is bad. God now did you japa and you cannot build something solid. Haba. What nonsense is that? Right?
Nonsense.
What nonsense is that? You said, Buhari is bad, Tinubu is bad, this one is bad. You have now come to the land of the brave, the country of the free, and you cannot even take some brave move. You cannot. Right? You cannot. So, and then you are claiming we're in UK, we're in US with Japa. That's just Japa. I see people just glorify Japaing, and I'm like, can't we be like the Jews? Can't we be like the Indians? Can't we be like the Pakistanis? Can't we be like the Chinese? When they Japa, they take over. They build empire. Right?
No, we don't japa now. Women, they drive their husbands for house, call police for their husbands. So the countries are begging us not to call police for our
Can you
husbands.
imagine? What a shame for Scotland Yard to be begging Nigerian women not to be calling police again. I mean, it's laughable. When I look at what we do when we come to diaspora, it's gossip all over. Gossip. Who marries which one's husband? Who is dating which one? You even see them mocking each other. This one, no, na Toyota he buy. You no get money for Lexus. This one, I'm like, all of you are all miserable together. You have to think of something big that you can do with your life. Somebody said something great. He said, great people, entrepreneurs, inventionary, scientists who invent things, who change the world. What do? They discuss ideas. Ordinary people discuss other people. It's time.
Let me read this to you, Dr. Stephen.
Yes.
So I can make you laugh a bit. A group of broke people discussing other people. That's what we call a non-profit organization.
I like
Many
that.
of you are members of non-profit organizations. Dr. Stephen, to host you on my live is very nice, but I have so many questions for you. Let me move to the next question now. I can listen to Dr. Stephen all day. Hey. What advice, Dr. Stephen, would you give to people in Nigeria or in diaspora who want to ensure that they are investing in legitimate real estate opportunities in the US?
Good question. I think the first one is what we discussed, which is, can you start attending real estate conferences, real estate seminars, right? Can you start going to where people who are doing that business are gathering? Because you will start getting ideas and tips and counsel around that industry, because it begins with knowledge. Number two, take action, right? Because if you keep talking from now till tomorrow and you don't make moves, right? You know, I've always said this, that it freeze, and I absolutely am very honest about it. Do you know why Africa is where it is today? We are ruled by leaders who have nothing upstairs, but very audacious, very bold, very bold. These guys feel they own Nigeria. Meanwhile, you and I, including you, Daddy Freeze, we get something upstairs, plenty grammar, but no boldness.
No boldness.
No
Oh,
boldness.
hey.
No boldness. The same thing with entrepreneurship. You know, if I ask you now, can anybody tell me the university Dangote went to? Yeah, all of you who brag. MSc, BSc,
Yes.
PhD, Liverpool, NMI, FMI. Tell me the university Dangote went to. The richest black man. Oh yeah, tell me.
Hi.
Eh? Cosmos Maduka did not even finish primary school. That's to finish the matter.
No.
Finish the matter. Yes, sir. Dr. Cosmos he did not even finish primary school. Elementary 3, be graduation for primary school now. He no finish secondary
That man
school.
is a
Multi-billion.
business genius.
I'm telling you, multi-billionaire in dollars. Right? So the reality is this. A lot of people have so much ideas. I call it analysis that leads to paralysis. They will never start anything. Every day they are just analyzing. Dr. Steven, you said I should buy this your land in the US. What is the proof that something will not go wrong? Of course, something can go wrong. What are you talking about?
Yes, now.
It's an investment. Is the you see, money is a reward for risk taking. Let me repeat it again. Money is a reward for risk taking.
Preach,
Right?
Dr. Stephen.
It's a risk. But the reward is that when it now works, you get rewarded for it. So right now, somebody was asking, how do I buy land from you in US? We are currently selling one of our estate, 99 acres. And we're only selling per acre because everybody, I want to buy land. Okay, we are selling now, but it's per acre. We're not selling to less than acre. We've had people drag us. Can't we buy one plot? I mean, we are not selling. And they say, why? I don't want to have too many customers. We are still good. And I don't want to have too many customers because 99 acres, if you divide it per plot, we give you more than 300 clients. But you sell it per acre, it means I only want to sell 50 acres. 50 clients, I'm done. I'm moving to the next one. I still have another 2,000 acres I'm about to launch. So I need to move faster. But again, it's a risk because I'm asking people to say, come and buy now at 150,000 per acre. I'm giving you opportunity to pay flexibly, 6 months, 12 months. But hear this, Daddy Freeze. In the next 2 years, we would have done something called platting in America, right? It's with the city and all of that. Once you do platting on a land in America, the price doubles. Right? So it's a risk you are taking where you are saying, invest now that we've not platted the land. In the next 2 years, the land will have been planted and you can have a double of the value. But the risk, you choose to buy or not. Somebody said, Naira. We're not talking Naira here. We're talking dollars. I say property in US. Why are you asking me
Why do you
Naira?
want to buy in Naira?
Did they
Did they tell
spend
you it's
Naira in the US? Yeah. Okay. So $150,000 per acre, and it is in Brookshire, Texas, USA. Brookshire is Houston metropolis, Houston and its environs. That is just 12 minutes from Katy Mills, right? However, somebody said, who's the target market? Anybody who can afford $150,000. We're giving an opportunity for you to pay in installment. You can deposit $50,000 and then you spread the balance in 6 months or 12 months, right? So it's up to you how you want to go about it. But again, business is always about risk. That's all I'm just trying to emphasize. The reward is that you come in at a certain time, you end okay. Why people have asked me, why are you expanding aggressively? Do you know that between now and June next year, that the freeze, we are putting over $100 million in our US expansion alone? $100 million is what we are putting in our own money. This is aside what we're also adding from institutional investors. Now, and I've been asked, why are you doing it? You will not believe the reason that they freeze. The interest rate is high. The best time to invest is when the interest rate is what? Is high. Yeah.
I'm learning.
When they dig you that, never go the direction of the masses. Always go the opposite direction. What do I mean? The sellers, number one, are selling way cheaper because not everybody wants to buy now. Everybody is complaining that the interest rate is high. So most people selling properties now are now having to reduce the price because, right? I mean, I have properties that have gotten $200,000 discount because I bought it now. I have properties that I got $1 million off because they were going for $10 million. And I said, if I'm going to buy this, I want to buy it for 9. Right? So, and guess what? If the interest rate were to be low, you know how they sell house in America? You can have 10 bidders. You will even be the one to say, okay, I want to sell my house. I'm just giving an example that the freeze. I want to sell my house for $1 million. You will have somebody say, I'll buy it for 1.1. I'll buy it for 1.2. You know why? The interest rate is low. So you will not even be the one to buy it higher than what you intended to sell it. But yes, that's how they say here. When the interest rate is low. But if you buy now, the interest rate is high. 1, you will get discount from the seller. 2, when the interest rate comes down, you can now go back and what? Sell at a much more premium price when many more people are willing to buy at that period. Right? So that's how to do business. But again, it does not change the freeze that I am also taking risk on these massive expansions that I'm doing here in America. It's a risk and I'm aware of it. But it's a calculated risk with so much training behind my belt, where I've done it in other countries and in different places, and it has worked. So that's the way business works, guys.
Thank you so much, Dr. Stephen. Every day we learn. For those who want to start, I think you've spoken about this. How much do you think they should start with?
Well, I think generally when it comes to, again, people wonder why I keep emphasizing. When you want to start real estate, you can start from wherever you are because it's not compulsory. Some people are saying 150,000. We have opportunity for you to invest. You don't need to buy. You can invest and we'll be giving you a return every year. Right? So there are people who may not even be able to afford 150,000, but they have a $20,000. But they have a $10,000. They have a $50,000. They just want to invest and every year get a return in dollars. We have that opportunity as well because as we speak, we have other projects we're doing. We're building a 28 units, just 12 minutes from downtown Houston. We have a new office that is free. We just bought our new office, $1.6 million in Katy. We're going to be launching it on Thursday. This Thursday, we're opening our Houston office. But the beauty about the office is that there's now a land in front of our office that is part of when we bought it. So we want to build a 6-story office complex there as well. Okay, and people can invest in that as well. So there's a lot we're doing that people can do, but start somewhere. I always say start with the knowledge. Even if you can't afford, start with the knowledge, right? If you can even start by being a marketer, if and getting a commission on people that you're encouraging to invest and you're getting a return. Right, I started as an agent over 15 years ago. Many people didn't know I did not start with real estate development. We only started development 9 years ago. When I started real estate business, I did not start as a developer. I started as an agent. I was selling for other credible people. They were giving me returns, but I was using that to learn. I was using that to understand how the business works. And so by the time I then started my own development, I was already good at it. I also had already gathered customers because those who bought from my former Oga, I was able to convince them to say, I now have my own, no. If you people will patronize your boy. And that was how we were able to start. I practically started real estate without a single dime because all I leveraged on was the credible relationship and the good name that I've built over the years. And it continued to help. In business, a good name, like they say, is better than silver
And
and gold.
gold combined. Silver and gold. Dr. Stephen, how do you balance catering to the business in Nigeria while maintaining your company's relevance and success in the US real estate market?
Beautiful. I think for us has been raising people. I have this quote and very important. And you guys can write it down. Everybody listening to me. If you see a football star that does not retire to become a coach, he will soon pay to enter the same stadium others used to pay to watch him play. But if he retires to become a coach, when the next reigning star scores, he will point at him and say, Coachy. That way, he will never lose relevance. And I'll break it down in practical terms. Who knew when Zinedine Zidane was the boss when it comes to playing football? In fact, at some point was the best player of the FIFA World Best Player, Zidane, right? But because exactly, but because Zidane retired and eventually became what? The coach of Real Madrid. When Ronaldo was scoring for Real Madrid, what will he do? He point at Zidane, coachy. And Zidane has not lost relevance even to this new generation who now knows him as a coach. So one of the things we did, and you are familiar, you know our people. All these years I invested in raising people who are now CEOs of all the various subsidiaries of our company. So in fact, I'm not even a director in our Nigerian companies again, right? We have raised people, yes. I'm just a shareholder, investor like everybody else investing too. Yes, I'm waiting at the end of the year for my returns too. Abi, me too, I want returns on investment. So we've raised a lot of great people and they run the business day to day. I'm very heavy here on our US expansion. But guess what? Even the US expansion, we're looking for US CEO to run that. We're looking for directors. We're employing people now who also run the US business. Like I said, we're opening the office that we just bought for $1.6 million on Thursday, this coming Thursday. If you're in Houston, you are invited. It's free to attend. You want to come, it's free to attend. Also, we are working hard to then build a team here. So what I usually do, I'll come build a team. After they are good at it, I leave them to run it and I'm collecting my returns.
Do you have an office in the US, and what are your plans of actually setting up a physical office in the United States of America?
Yes, I think I've answered that already. Where we have, and somebody saying, "Come, are you coming to Maryland?" US is US, guys. Maryland, some of you are just shouting, "Come to Maryland, come to," and I see. Let me address it at the free because this is the mistake we make. That's why if you keep seeing me say, "Invest in knowledge, invest in knowledge," I know what I'm saying. People are shouting, "Come to Maryland." Have you done the tax analysis of owning property in Maryland? You didn't even ask, why is it Texas of all the states? As of today, there are only 2 states I'm focused on in real estate as of today. Texas and Florida, because the tax was in the favor of the person doing real estate. So stop all this. Because you live in Maryland, then you must only buy property in Maryland. This is where you miss it. Because you live in Charlotte, then the investments must be in Charlotte. Come on. The same thing we do in Nigeria. You say, I am from Oyo State. When are you launching your estate in Oyo? I am from Anambra. When will you launch your estate in Anambra? I am from Kaduna. When are you opening Kaduna? Okay. Money is money. There is no Kaduna money. There's no Northern Nigeria money. There's no Eastern Nigeria money. There is no Western Nigeria money. There is no Maryland money. There is no. It is about what are the numbers? What are the analysis? Why are we doing certain things? Right? What are the strategies involved? Why did we decide to go with certain states instead of certain other states? Right? These are things you should even be learning from and be asking questions. Okay? Because if everybody just want to, oh, my city, my city. Hey, that's not how it works. There are a lot of data to back up why a particular state, what the reason for that state, and that's how this thing works. But our US office opening this Thursday, and for those who are here, they can. I want to please let me type it for others to get it. Is 518. Let me just get it because it's quite new. Just want to be sure. I'm pulling it now. So if you are in Houston, Axis, you want to come, please, you're welcome. It's free to come around on that day. The time is 6 p.m. The time is 6 p.m. on Thursday. You can send a DM to this number. My team will reply you if you have any questions, anything. So let me see, the address is 518 West Green Boulevard, Katy, Texas. 518 West Green Boulevard, Katy, Texas. 77450. That's the zip code. 77450. Again, 518 West Green Boulevard, Katy, Texas. 77450. So that's the office, and you are very much welcome. Somebody said, be careful of hurricane. Here in America, we don't care about hurricane because there is insurance, right? So if hurricane destroy, insurance will rebuild. That is why Nigeria must work as well, because these are things that can make Nigeria better when we build better insurance structure. Right, you never be scared of hurricane or one thing. Insurance, once you have insurance will do it.
We are far back, Dr. Stephen. No. Look at where we are. Look at even our mindset, Papa. See how we are thinking. There's hurricane, there's this, Nigerians. We must always behave like ourselves.
One mumu person just say insurance doesn't cover hurricane because you didn't do hurricane insurance, right? I just bought a multi-million-dollar house now. I'll soon show you guys the house. I had to do flood insurance. It's different from the regular house insurance, right? I have to do a special insurance that protect me for flood.
Lord.
So if you do such, you also have to do, if you know you are hurricane prone, aside the normal house insurance, you still do a hurricane insurance that protects you in the case of hurricane. As simple as that. Don't be penny wise, pound foolish. If you buy a property, multi-million-dollar property, and you now decide not to do a hurricane insurance, now that's your own problem. That's not my own. It
Cup of
was
tea.
you, exactly. It was you not wise not to have known that. I mean, you spend so much money to get a property, then you definitely have to get a proper insurance for it.
Absolutely. Now, your event coming up, once again, how do people register for the event and how do they attend this event?
Okay, beautiful. You can of course be part of our event. Easy. You just need to register on the website www.stephenactel.com/GWFUSA. Again, www.stephenactel.com/GWFUSA to register. Alternatively, you can send a DM. My team are there to work with you and help you out, or send a WhatsApp message. No call, just WhatsApp to +1 443 790 3925. Somebody was asking earlier, if I'm investing $20,000, what's the returns? Send a WhatsApp message to the number and our team will call you and explain those things to you. If you can let me pin the number, so you can just type,
Okay,
that
give me the
number.
number again. Plus
+1 443 790 3925 is WhatsApp chat only, no calls, just WhatsApp
Okay,
chat.
the number again +1 443.
Yes. Okay, so there are two numbers I will just give so that it helps.
Okay, let me
Again, plus
pin
one
it there.
four four plus 1 443 790
3925.
3925. Again, plus 1
443
443
790
790 3925.
3925.
Then the second one is plus 1 346 575 4852. Again, plus 1 346 575 4852. A gentleman is saying that we call him Mumu. Apologies, Sports Global LFC. Sorry, whether it was me or anybody, apologies for that, okay? You are not a Mumu, okay? So I hope that helped. Did you get the two numbers? I hope you
Yes,
got the second one.
I've pinned one. That is plus
Okay.
1 443 790 3925.
925.
Let the
Yeah.
team send me the other one so I
Yeah.
can pin that too. I'm going to bring in up two people who are going to ask questions. But before we do that, I want to ask you two more questions, Dr. Stephen. There are Nigerians in Nigeria and Nigerians in diaspora. They are looking to invest in real estate, but they are not familiar with the process. Can you provide some insight, please?
So come again with the question.
There are Nigerians in Nigeria who want to invest in diaspora, and there are Nigerians in diaspora who also want to invest, but they don't understand the terrain. So, do you have any insight for them? Is there any tips or tidbits you can throw at them, or should they just come to the event and just come and learn properly?
So yeah, so I love the question, because what I notice is oftentimes is a situation where there are people in the diaspora who are trying to invest back in Africa, and there are people in Africa who are trying to invest back,
In
you know,
diaspora. Mm-hmm.
in diaspora. And the answer is that both are welcome, and you can do both,
Mm.
right? Because let's be honest, let's be very, very honest. There are situations also where, investing here has made people lose money. Let's be honest. In 2008, I know a woman who had 4 real estate. She lost everything. And
Mm.
the risk here is that if you fail to pay your taxes, they will foreclose on your property. You cannot tell them stories.
Mm.
You are a member of an HOA, right? I mean, because here in the US, we call something HOA, it's like housing
Mm.
association. So there's a yearly due that you're supposed to pay. You fail to pay that, the HOA can sell your house.
Mm.
So there are a lot of people who came here because of lack of training. They thought it's in Nigeria. In Nigeria, if you buy a house, you don't own it for life. There is
Mm.
no story of because you don't pay tax, Lagos can't collect your house. It no go happen. And that's why we need to be very honest with sometimes how we abuse our own country, because no place is perfect too, right?
Mm.
Here is a law. You do not pay certain things, they take over your house, they foreclose, they sell the house, you don't go. So this woman lost 4 properties, all the money she paid down payment, all the mortgage she's been paying, she lost everything. So there are risks everywhere, and people have lost money everywhere as well. My advice is always get training, get knowledge, so that you know that everything has the intricacies of it. I always tell people there's no shortcut to life. The only shortcut to life is actually mentorship. If there's any shortcut to success, it's mentorship.
Mm.
Because you are leveraging on the wisdom of those who have gone
Who
ahead of
have
you,
gone ahead?
right? And so the mistake they made, you are not making it. You are not making it. The challenges they've been through, I'm lucky to have gotten a lot of older business people to have counseled me. If not, that I would have given up. Hey, particularly with the Nigerian problem, today you have this customer problem, omonile problem tomorrow, police problem next tomorrow, I mean all manner.
Mm.
So if I didn't have the older ones to say, look, this is normal, right? It's a sign of growth.
Mm.
You know, I remember 2015, DSS came to my office
Mm.
to come and arrest me. And all my big egmons in business, when they saw me say, congratulations, I hope you know that it's a proof that you are now at a level.
Mm.
Because DSS will not waste their time on just ordinary person. you know, but do you know how many people have been discouraged just because they had an issue with government
Mm.
and they just shut down? Because they never had anybody who is ahead who say, look, this is even a sign that you have gotten to a level in your business, that
Mm.
government is aware of you exist. So don't give up,
Mm.
right? So I will advise everyone, whether you want to invest back in Nigeria or you want to invest here in diaspora, try and get mentorship, and don't stop all this free advice. That the advice I hate the most in my life is advised by people that the advice has not changed their life. And I'm sure you've seen people like that. And
Every day.
they are the ones eager to give you free advice.
Mm.
Free. They won't unsolicited. And the question is, if this advice wey you dey give, they work, why you never change your own
Why it
life?
never work
Why?
for you?
Why it never work for you? I was on Honest Bunch the other day and I was sharing the same issue. So somebody said they use my head. They use the head wey no work for you. Somebody can't use am, you no happy. Since when you don't dey use the head for yourself, how has the head helped you? Say they are using you. If you are not used, you cannot be useful. Somebody has to use you for you to even understand the potentials you carry. So
Mm.
get mentorship, get advice, go for training. reach out to people who have results and say, how is this thing done? And if they say you should pay to get it, pay. If they say you should train to get it, be trained. But trust me, the only people who will not ask you for anything when they are giving you advice is those that their advice has not worked for them. It's the truth. It's for those. It's true. That the priest has put in how many years in journalism. You now, or let people say this live show. You two now want to start your own live show. I see some people, they too won't copy you. The first video where they do, na jail they land. Because they felt that all you can just do, if you abuse pastors, you go make money. You know, the first abuse, hey, my people, I'm coming, I'm wrapping up. The first abuse where they do, that the freeze, that jail in London. You know,
Dr.
first
Steven,
abuse.
I know you have to go, but I want to ask you a few more questions real quick. One thing is, can I bring in one or two people to ask questions in 30 seconds? I always love that.
Problem.
Audience feedback. Now, keep it.
I wanted to show you my.
Hey, see us everywhere. Fine. Hey, you want to hear birds? They do chirp, 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 chirp.
Me and you know, there's a river at the back. You know, so I want to put a mini golf course and a lake as well. You know, so at the back, because it's 3.3, even all this is part of it, deep into that. But I love houses where the land is spacious. I can move. You know, is you know, plus the quality of people that are your neighbors as well. I mean, it helps in business.
Absolutely. Guys, if you want to ask any question, please do send me a request now to be part of this live. Any question you want to invest in the USA, you're looking for a proper medium to go about this. You want to understand the risks and how to manage the risks. Dr. Stephen Akintayo is here. Don't let Dr. Stephen go. You can't call Daddy Freeze. I want to ask you a question. Because I don't know anything about real estate. If not Bible, you won't ask me now. I will begin explain and give you. Here he is here. This is Dr. Stephen. It's not easy to get him. Ask him your questions. Ask him your questions now. So some people have sent requests. Remember, ask your questions directly. No need for too much greeting. Dr. Stephen, how are you? How is your wife? How is work? How is the weather? How is your health? One day ask the question. What are your questions? Please feel free. A lot of people are sending me requests and then they are now afraid and declining. What are your questions? Once again, here is the number. Okay, somebody has joined us. Tony is joining us.
This is my house. Why do you want me to tell you where my house is? I'm not interested. But it's in Texas. But it's in Texas. This is not the land I'm selling. This is my own house. So, right? So this is not land I'm selling. This is my own house. This is where I live.
Trade the sea. Person from Nigeria live for Banana Island, go Texas, go live for another Banana Island there. You're asking where is the house. You want to come and greet him. He's married. And his wife is beautiful, more beautiful than you. So he will not even look at you. He only looks at his wife. How many kids do you have, Dr. Stephen?
I have 3 children.
Your wife
boys,
doesn't look like she has 3 children. She just looks young and fit. Hey, Dr. Stephen, you are doing a good job.
Thank you. Thank you. you. Your wife too is really beautiful.
Thank you.
Amazing. You are trying.
Thank you.
And
Thank
with
you.
that kind of job, you are really
A kind
trying.
of job that does not end. The job just starts.
Eh,
And they seize her phone. I'm sure your wife still seizes your phone from time to time.
yeah. But she does though. She does because it's a lot of
It
I
doesn't end.
can be so busy. Entrepreneurship is not easy. It's not easy.
Mm,
I
mm, mm,
yeah.
mm. And if you are staying in the US, I want a lot of people who are in the US to ask questions. This is your opportunity now. The number is +1 4 4 3 7 9 0 3 925. Please WhatsApp messages only. Do not call. WhatsApp messages only. Do not call. I'll give you the number again. Get a pen and a piece of paper. +1 443 790 3925. We have almost 500 people watching on YouTube, on
Hello.
Facebook, and about 200 on YouTube. So if you want to get in touch and tap into this opportunity Dr. Stephen is giving, please do send a WhatsApp message to that number. Hello, brother. How are you doing?
Hello, Dr. Freeze. Good afternoon from this side. So
Good afternoon.
I'm actually not in the US right now. I'm actually like in Canada right now. But I've got a question though because you said we can ask questions, right?
Yes, please.
So so basically, I'm in my third year right now. I'm an undergraduate student. I'm a medical researcher, and I'm also pursuing my bachelor's degree in nursing. So like I'm actually on campus right now, but I just feel like this is a chance for me to ask a question. So for a young man like me who's still like an undergraduate, and I've got like let's say $9,000, you know, just saved somewhere. So like, do you think it's too early for me to start thinking about investing in real estate, or do you think that that money is too small to like, invest in real estate? Like because I know you need like a huge capital to invest, but do you think 9,000 is too small, or do you think with that amount I can invest, in real estate? Thank you.
What country are you based?
I'm actually in Canada right now.
Canada. Well,
Yeah.
first of all, I think it's not too early. I started my business when I was on campus. I had a dream to, in fact, I set up my 50-year goal plan as a student. 50-year goal plan, where I wanted to be 50 years from that. And I broke it down into 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 50 years. And what I still operate to today is my 50-year goal blueprint, right? So trust me, you are in the best position to start. What I will do if I'm in your position is to start with the knowledge of the investment and not the investment, because $9,000 is a lot of money and is enough for you to get the knowledge. Once you get the knowledge, you will raise the capital,
Mm.
right? A lot
Yeah.
of time we overrate capital, but we don't know that there are other capitals that are way more powerful than your regular cash,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Social capital is way more powerful than cash because social capital will give you more than cash. It will give you counsel, it will give you mentorship, it will give you support and all of that. So what you want to start with is the knowledge.
Mm.
Invest, look for trainings on how to start real estate investment in Canada.
Okay.
Most of them are run by white
Yeah.
people. They are
Yeah.
quite expensive, but don't
Yeah.
worry, pay, right? Pay and take your notes and just take and start with the baby one. It could be fix and flip. You may just come together with five other people. Everybody bring 5,000. Do you see now? Boom, you have
Yeah.
25,000.
Yeah.
You can buy your first property and then move from there. So but the knowledge is critical,
Yeah.
because once the knowledge is there, the rest will be easy. Many of us, so I do big deals, right? But
Yes.
what people don't know is that what I use is not like, it's not like I have big money sitting down, not doing anything. I'm just waiting. I leverage on what we call syndication. People
Mm.
know I understand real estate work. So on a regular basis, I get people call me. They will still have $1 million. How can I invest it with you? I have $100,000. How can I invest it with you? I
Yeah.
have this. And we aggregate that, and we're able to constantly keep buying this property. So when you hear that we've even acquired this property, 1.6 million, 10 million, $20 million, 15 years, hey, and that's why I tell people the business itself is your name. It's not what you're buying, it's
True.
your name,
Mm.
True. True.
right? It's the trust people have in you. That's the real business.
Mm.
Because once people can trust you and you do your best to keep to your word,
Mm.
you will be
Mm.
shocked how much money you access. I recently asked my team to give me breakdown of how much we've paid our investor in the last 3 years. Do you know it's over $1 million?
Wow.
So when two people are trolling me on social media, of 3 people does not like me, there are hundreds of people who have earned over $1 million from me, who are constantly praying, Oluwa o, owó mi wà lọ́wọ́ Stephen Akitayo, no evil must touch him,
Mm.
protect him for me. So I enjoy free blessing. But the ultimate thing is that I've had to do business with integrity, right? It
Mm.
doesn't mean things don't go bad. That's
Yeah.
normal. We communicate it.
Yeah.
Oh, we tried to do this. I was just sharing this with Daddy Freeze during our anniversary. The first money I tried to raise, I lost everything. We tried to buy land, the people cheated me and I lost the money. But I went back to the investors. I'm
Mm.
sorry I lost your money, but give me some more time. I'll pay you back and the returns. And I paid all of them back. It took a longer time. And that's how it should be. So you're on the right track, my young brother.
Thank you.
You are just get it, push heavy and keep pushing. Yeah.
Thank you
If you
so
can
much.
join virtually the conference we're doing on the 21st and 22nd, if you can't come down to Houston, please join. It's going to inspire you. We have a whole panel on real estate. Great
Okay.
guys are going to break things down for you.
On the 21st and 22nd.
Yes, of September. Yeah.
Okay. I'll try my best to join. And thank you so much for answering my question.
All
You're
right. And the number
welcome.
is right there. You can find it there. +1 4437 903925.
All right.
Send a WhatsApp message right now. +1 4437 903925. We've got another question. Please keep your question quick.
Okay. I'd like to take my leave
All
now.
right.
Can I take my leave?
Bless you. We've
Thank
got
you.
another
Thank you.
question. Go ahead.
All right. Good evening, Daddy
Dr.
Freeze, and good
Stephen. Yes,
evening,
good evening.
Dr. Stephen Akintayo. I'm actually nervous, and I never knew that this day will come to pass where I'll be on a live recording with Dr. Stephen Akintayo. Thank you very much for the privilege. I'm so grateful, sir. God bless you, sir. I've been following you, and I never knew that this day will come to pass. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
My name is Peter from the other state, Asaba. And I'm not in US right now, but I have a question to ask them. How do you transition into moving like a growing firm, like a growing company, navigate into making people to believe what you do and trying to make a name for yourself and for the company you believe in? Starting up is not really easy. I run a company, a real estate company here in the other states, but we have few challenges trying to make our mark and all that, trying to push it the right way and doing the right way. So how do we transition into being starters and being a kind of will I say a landmark in Delta State, making names for ourselves?
Well, congratulations. I love talking to young entrepreneurs like you. The
Thank you,
future
sir.
of Nigeria the future of Nigeria depends on you. Trust me, don't let anybody deceive you.
Thank you so
It's
much.
people like you that will change this country,
Thank you, sir.
right? I will let you know that it is tough doing business in Nigeria. It's one of the most difficult things you ever do. But if you can stay the course, years later, you look back and you're grateful. My advice will be attach yourself to a bigger fish. Let me give you this adage somebody shared with me years ago. He said, a small snake that wants to grow old will hide his head under a mother so that it will not be crushed. He said, but the one that will not grow will begin to raise his head as a small snake. And guess what happened? They will crush the head and it will be gone. Look for people of repute, people who can talk to you and you can obey them, and hide your company under their head. You can bring them to your board, even if it's advisory. Let one of them chair the board. Okay? Our land business, for example, just a direct advice, is chaired by the former IG of police. So you now see that if you look for, if we buy land and you don't give us the land, you can imagine what will happen to you. Abi?
Yes, sir.
But imagine as a young person not getting people like that to come around and help our business. They will have killed the business before it gets to where it is today. The person who heads our legal team, we have more than 5 different law firms that work for us. But the head is Falano, the Falano SAN. But it was intentionally done so that we have credible people. Right?
We've lost him. We've lost him, but continue with your question, with your answer, Dr. Stephen.
Yes, hopefully maybe we hear. But we have credible people who can carry our case, right? And, because in the Nigerian context, they look at your age. They just look at your face and say, wait, how old are you first? That's where they will start with you. And then you start seeing people just take advantage of you just because of your age, because we are patriarchal in Africa. So look for older people, hide your business under them, let them many of them don't care about equity, they don't even care about owning equity, but as long as you can honor them, you can be, kind to them, you can acknowledge their impact, they will be able to use their reputation to help your business grow. And as long as you will do things by the books, not that you will fall their hand and start messing up and down. Right? And please don't go with entitlement mentality because they don't owe you. So don't go and say you expect them to chair your board. I know somebody I told to chair my board for 3 years. He said no. I still have relationship with him till tomorrow. Right? So if there's no means next opportunity. So don't be angry because they say no. I say, imagine all these old people, they don't want to help young people. No. They have a reason. Keep looking for who will say yes to you. Right? Also, make sure it's worth their while. Right? Not that somebody use their reputation, you are not paying them, you didn't put them on an allowance, and yet you are making money as a business and they are using their reputation. No, that's not right. So if they are coming on board as to be on your board, let there be an allowance that is due to them on a regular basis. Right? Even if they didn't ask you, let it be due on a regular basis. And I believe God will give you wisdom. We have a training for real estate developers like you in Nigeria. Reach out to my team and they will give you the details. You can attend. You'll learn more. Because some things we can't say on social media.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Stephen. On a
final
note,
by the way, this is probably the best IG life I enjoy the most. Your people are very wonderful. I don't know what happened.
If they are not intelligent, I remove them. I want only a certain
maybe that's what happened.
crop of
But I
people.
enjoy this.
Oh, thank you so much, Dr. Stephen. Thank you so much, Dr. Stephen. So your party notes, as we're running out of battery, made the thing no go die because we've been on for almost 2 hours.
Yes, if I have guests been waiting for me to see me. My party note will be don't give up. Keep investing in building wealth. Let me say this: you may have been born into a poor family, but make sure a rich family comes out of you.
Out of you.
Yes, I was born into a poor family, but today I've built a wealthy family.
I also
So,
met Dr. Stephen's brother the other day. He's also a billionaire. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to know more,
by the way, I have the person who is going to anchor our conference. The female anchor is here. Her name is Mark.
Hello, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yes, thank you for the opportunity. Oh gosh,
Right.
okay.
And her husband is here too.
Who's this?
Nice to meet
He's
you.
a big, his name is Daddy. He's a big broadcaster in Nigeria.
Oh, nice.
So he's a big broadcaster in Nigeria. They asked him, who are you? I said, you're a big broadcaster in
That's why I want to
Nigeria.
come to America so people can know me in America too, not just this Nigeria.
Exactly. Very nice. Well, nice to meet you.
Nice to
Thank
meet
you.
you.
Bye-bye.